Hello and welcome to the Space Dock Jury Christmas Party. Hello. I'm Lee.
I'm Peter.
I'm Andy. Hey!
And we're stuck in the BFI at the moment, being served drinks. And basically, we're here to wrap some things up before the new year.
It's a Christmas tradition that at Christmas time you have massive arguments with your family and the ones you love. So we're here to have a massive argument about the scores from the past year.
Hey! Yeah, got anything to say, Pete?
No.
Ah, right, fine. Okay, so we've got large amounts of beer. We have what looks like the nerdiest setup I've ever seen in a pub ever.
He says this, it's your fucking spreadsheet here.
Yeah, but
This is what you made.
It's on your laptop, dude.
Well, how else am I going to pull it up on my phone?
Yes.
Oh, well, yeah, maybe, but still.
Okay. And then Pete's got his iPad.
Yeah, Pete's got his own separate spreadsheet because he doesn't trust us.
Yeah.
Which, to be fair,
got the
is-
authentic one.
To be fair, is, a good point, but still.
So before we get super drunk and then basically start photocopying...
Too late for that.
Okay, too late.
Some of us have been since 4, so yeah.
Okay, so before we get too drunk and start basically photocopying our arses, this is a podcast in a pub. Where are we? Again, the BFI? The BFI. Right, okay.
Christmas party.
Christmas party.
No, we're not in the BFI. We're in 10 forward. I've just decided.
Oh, for goodness sake. Not even a good science fiction pub.
No, not one that serves proper alcohol. That's about you.
Name me a good science fiction bar.
The Mos Eisley Cantina.
Okay, fine. We're in the
Might be dangerous. I've lost an arm already.
You wore his face.
Right. Well, we're not in 10 forward. We're not in the Mos Eisley Cantina. But we are in a science fiction alcoholic serving establishment.
We're on Underworld in the on the Citadel. On Omega.
Yes. Yeah, we'll go with that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Aria's over there.
Yeah, that's it.
Yes.
Ari's over there.
And Pete's looking at us like we have 3 heads.
Yeah. Mass Effect doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Roll with it.
So basically, this week, what we're going to do, if you can still hear me.
Yeah, we can see it.
Yeah, great. What we're going to do is we're going to go through all the ships that we've questioned our scoring based on time and refining this scoring system.
It's an opportunity for us to look back at the year just gone, look at some of the ships and say, what the fuck were we thinking?
Right.
Because there's a couple of instances where we might have been overly generous with a score, or we might have said, Pete's bringing this, so it's shit. My point is, we're going to have a look at some of these scores and just see if we're happy with them.
Rose-tinted spaceships.
Yes, this is the episode. It's rose-tinted spaceship.
There you go.
Shit-covered shuttlecraft.
You have won yourself a new drink, sir.
Hey! Okay. So,
right,
we have here the spreadsheets before us, and on it are coloured marks where we think there's a score's a bit squiffy and we're not quite happy with it.
Yeah, based on how many ships have we got now on the list?
Today we have 82 spaceships.
82. Right, okay,
Yes.
so we've done 82 spaceships, and to cut a long story short, after 82 spaceships, does that divide by 3?
I have no idea.
Because sometimes we've had a fourth wheel.
Yes.
Oh, right, okay, fine.
Yes, damn it. We've got a format we've got to stick to.
Okay, fine. Well, based on 82 spaceships, we've kind of refined the scoring a little bit.
I'd say there's been a certain amount of drift.
Drift, yeah. Yeah. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to go through the ships and the problem areas, I think it's safe to say.
Yes, and say, that doesn't quite work, we should probably address that. For example, we have here, the first one we're going to get to is the Super Star Destroyer Executor.
Yes, I was robbed.
Which currently has a firepower score of 7.
Yeah.
But if we go down to where we have the standard Star Destroyer, we gave it a firepower score of 9. Which strikes me that there's something not quite right there.
Roll
Well,
call.
go on, Pete.
Well, it's got to be more than 9, doesn't it? Now, on our scale, if we go up to 10, that's one shot takes out a capital ship, which I don't think is unreasonable.
I would say I think that title for 10 needs to be refined, because one-shotting capital ships entirely depends on the capital ship you are one-shotting.
Welcome to Bookkeeping, the podcast.
A little bit, yes. But I think I'm happy to give the Executor a 10. I mean, I'd even stretch as far as an 11 if the case can be made.
Well, we did say 11 was shadow ships, so do we think it's as powerful as a shadow ship?
No. I don't think it's as powerful as a shadow ship.
A shadow battle crab? No, I don't think...
Because shadows never miss, and we've seen the Super Star Destroyer miss.
Yeah.
The Super Star Destroyer is much more quality over quantity. Quantity over
quality,
quality,
even, yeah.
That one. So, what do we
It just spaffs its wad and hopes it hits them.
I think you could go for a 10 for the score.
So we're currently at a 7, we're going for a 10?
10.
Yeah.
Okay, so the change is being made. It is now at a 10.
Nice.
Okay. Now, next up, we have Special. Now, at the time, we gave it nothing for Special.
But that's before we were counting personalities. And crew
and fighters and ships
exactly.
like that. So
I mean, the thing's got a phalanx of TIE fighters.
Well, firstly, we know it's got a huge amount of sudden ground troops on the thing, so that's going to get it one.
Yeah.
It has one Mr. Jeff Vader, who runs the canteen.
Yeah, Jeff Vader.
So Jeff Vader's 2, I think.
Yeah.
And I suppose the stupid amount of defensive fighter craft to give it 3.
Yeah. TIE fighters. And the fact that, in fact, that it's service craft, to go back to ID4, the ID4 mothership, are Star Destroyers.
But they're not part of the ship.
No, but they are. But if you look underneath, and this was in part of the thing when it was being built, if you look underneath, you know the door underneath a Star Destroyer is a square.
Yes.
If you look underneath the Super Star Destroyer, the door underneath is a massive triangle, which is because it has to fit other Star Destroyers in it.
Is that canon?
Yes.
Don't...
So it carries...
Cite me, chap. Look,
I can't do that because my phone's recording the backup.
Well, we're recording it. But look, my point is, I'm happy to give it 3 now. I'll take the 4th under advisement if you can pull out something for the next episode to show that's the case.
Okay. I honestly believe that was the point. That one of the things was that it's got a hangar for Star Destroyers.
I did read recently the Darth Vader comic, which does deal with the commissioning of the Executor. It's not mentioned or shown in there at all, so
It's a good comic, though, isn't it?
It's a fantastic... If you haven't
really
read
good
it,
comic.
fucking read that comic.
Yeah.
Darth Vader is all I am surrounded by is fear
and dead men.
Yes.
Ah,
so good. But yeah, I'm happy to give it 3.
Okay, 3 it is.
3.
3.
So we have 3, which gives the Star Destroyer a new score of 65.
64.
No, 65.
I'm looking at the
Pegasus
wrong
is
line.
64.
Which means it will jump up ahead of a Pegasus.
So where are we on the top 10 now?
Well, that puts the Executor up to 3.
Number 3.
Wait, that's gone 68.
That's gone to 68.
Oh, that's right, because I added the 3. So yeah, 68.
68.
So it's second now.
No, it's
Third.
It's still
Go back.
It's still 1 point behind the Vengeful Spirit.
Wow, there you go. This is all change, people.
Yes.
This is exciting podcasting.
Exciting! It's moved up. What?
Oh, I see. You haven't got it
What?
listed in. Because where's the Death Star?
Well, the Death Star's further down because we
Yeah,
haven't.
it's listed in
Order we
order
did
that
them.
we did them.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. So, next up on our list of things we need to revisit is the Normandy SR1.
Okay.
So, Pete, you just go to sleep for 5 minutes.
Yeah, you can take a break now.
Now, we gave the Normandy a firepower of 8, which, if we're honest, probably a little
Too high?
little bit, I think.
Yeah. I think it's too high. I think, because the thing is...
Because the SR1, not the SR2.
Yeah.
But that being said, it does manage to, once the barriers are down, shoot through Sovereign with no problem. So
Yeah,
I
but
think
that's a torpedo. It's like a single...
still part of the fucking
No,
shit.
I'm just
Yeah.
saying. It's not something that they use a lot. They use the phalanx cannons and...
I'd say 7. I think probably
Yeah,
more than 8.
that's fine. I'm more than happy with that.
So we're at a 7. Now, our real bones of contention are the interior score and our science score.
Can we get this out of the way so I can do the SR2 at some point?
Let's do that. So
Okay. Interior.
I want to give that motherfucker a 4.
Okay, right, fine. First off, this is the reason this got marked for 3 was that in the main game that you play,
Yes.
Mass Effect 1, and this is where you can come back in, Pete. You're the referee on this one. In Mass Effect, put the bottle down. In Mass Effect 1, the interior is much larger than the exterior.
I remember this.
Now, we had a very long-winded discussion.
It was a passionate exchange of ideas, shall we say?
Yeah, they fixed this in Mass Effect 2.
Yes.
But the thing was, in Mass Effect 2, it's fixed in the same way as they fixed it in the White Star on Babylon 5. So there's two things to say here, without, totally dispassionately at this point. Either we fix the Normandy and therefore fix the White Star to the same, or we accept the score as it's flawed in the one that we used the most. In other words, we used Normandy 1 in Mass Effect 1 the majority of the time. It's literally in Mass Effect 2 for approximately 15 seconds.
May I counter?
You may.
My counter is, the Normandy changes once when we do a correction because the game engine in Mass Effect 2 can handle the larger sizes. The White Star changes repeatedly, both up and down, depending on the episode and, in fact, the shot that they're doing. There is multiple times when the White Star is both bigger and smaller, and that's why I mark the White Star down. The Normandy is a single correction due to game engine issues. The White Star is, once they fired Foundation Imaging and got rid of Ron Thornton, they started saying, do you think we can fit a couple of Nile fighters in it? Yeah, sure, why not? Throw them in here. Wait, aren't these windows meant to be big enough for the people to stand in front of them? Yeah, just scale it down. No one's going to care. Right. That is my issue.
Okay, one last counter. Because I have been playing Mass Effect 2 in the last 2 weeks on an insanity run, just humble brag. But anyway, don't worry. It's like
means nothing to me.
It just means sticking everything up to hard. Anyway, when you do see the Normandy blown open in Mass Effect 2 and they have fixed the interior, at that point they haven't fixed the exterior. Because what happens... We didn't have a problem with the exterior.
No, I'm just seeing... I'm looking for precedents of other ships since that we've given 4s and 3s to see where we are.
Just listen to
I'm listening.
Basically, in Mass Effect 1, the interior didn't fit. That's fine. Okay, well, they fixed it in 2. That's brilliant. But then, in doing so, they broke the exterior in Mass Effect 2. Because what happens is, where are the escape pods? Andy? In Mass Effect 2.
In Mass Effect 2?
Where are the escape pods on the Normandy 1?
On the crew deck, behind the...
Right?
Yeah.
And when you go out into vacuum of space at the beginning, you see that the walls are approximately a foot thick.
Well, it'll be thick enough to put the...
Not to put an entire escape pod to put Joker into...
Let me just counter with... I get what the point is, and...
All I'm saying is, you either fix the interior or you
I get what you're saying, but we gave the fucking War Rocket Ajax an interior score of 4. We gave the Spirit of Fire an interior score of 4. We gave the Protector with its... Shut up, you fucking game bias, man. You're fucking... You're gamist, man. You're fucking gamist, man.
Right, okay.
My point is, I think the SR1 is deserved of a 4, and I would quote the very next episode we recorded. One Mr. L. Medcalf, of his own volition, did admit he was being a bit of a dick in that episode.
I was being a bit of a dick in that episode. However, I would just like to say, purely based on what's observable, the interior is fixed, and I'm more than happy to accept that. The problem is that when they fix it, what happens is they put in a massive escape pod for Joker to go into in Mass Effect 2 behind the console of the cockpit. Right. So, which it clearly cannot fit into because there is clearly only about 1.5 feet between the interior and the exterior. And it's very clear. It's very, very clear. So you either fix the interior based on Mass Effect 2 and accept the exterior has to come down in Mass Effect 2 because they don't fit, or you put the exterior up for Mass Effect 1 and accept that in Mass Effect 1 it doesn't fit.
I accept neither, and I'm going to leave it at 3, but I'll tell you this, you never fucking do any SR2.
Ah, that's just wrong.
Fucking bitch, no. Anyway.
No, I tell you, I don't, because the thing is, right...
I do not accept this. My point, the whole basis of your argument is based solely on the Xbox 360 in 2007 did not have... Well, firstly...
No. Hold on. My argument is that I will accept that the interior of the SR1 fits in the second game, but the problem is in the second...
but then all you're saying to me is you'll say, I'll give you the point for the interior, but I'm taking a point away from the exterior.
But it has to happen.
No, it does not.
Why?
Okay, there's a minor detail where you can't necessarily fit
6.5 feet worth of pod between a foot and a half of gap.
My point is, it's already scoring a 4 on the exterior. If this thing was absolutely fucking perfect, it's scoring a 5, then fine, I say, yeah, you know what, bring it down.
Okay.
But I am not having the Normandy SR1 down on the same sodding level as something like a fucking... let me just find something appropriately insulting.
Yeah, okay.
The fucking Destiny from Stargate Universe.
Oh, fuck no. Okay, I'll tell you what, you can have it. You can have the 4.
Thank you.
Right,
next one up. Science. I don't know if I want to fucking fight this one. Are we just leaving it as 3 or...
To be quite honest, I don't mind. I mean, science is all over the place on our scoring.
Yeah.
What was the first 4 we gave?
The first 4 we gave was for the Defiant.
What? Oh, yeah, because that's a Trek ship. Okay,
Yeah.
fine. What's the next 4 we gave?
Agamemnon. Actually, the Agamemnon was the very first 4 we gave because it was the first depth ship we did.
Okay, so go down a bit further.
Let's go down on a more recent one. What's getting a 4 more recently?
Can I have another Diet Coke, 2 pale ales, and a lager?
Well, we gave...
2 lagers and 1...
No, 2 pale ales and 1 lager.
And that'll be an edit point. We gave the Dreadnought and the Saratoga a 4.
Okay, I don't see Normandy being that far out. I think what happened was the Mass Effect ESO stuff was getting in the way, which is clearly away with the fairies.
That is right. Well,
but the rest of the ship itself is fine.
Fine. Well, that brings her up to 57 then.
Which doesn't change much. To be honest.
I mean that's still not in the top 10. But the next one, Mass
Here
Effect.
we are.
Last time Mass Effect's probably ever appearing on this cast is
I can't believe I don't get to do Nessol 2.
Sovereign.
Motherfucker.
It gets
is
worse.
ineligible for Space Dock Jury.
He's ineligible.
Look, the thing is, I can't look. We've got 2 rules effectively for a spaceship to be in a Space Dock Jury.
Yeah.
One is it has to be capable of interplanetary travel, and one is it requires a crew for the operation of the ship.
I know why you're being so quiet now.
Yeah.
And I'm afraid Reaper, the Sovereign Reaper, does not require a crew at all. Saren is inconsequential to his ability to function.
I would like to just say, on behalf of everyone who's a fan of Mass Effect, Andy,
Yes.
fuck you.
Okay.
Yeah, alright, take it to fucking out.
Oh well, I'm sorry, Sovereign. I'm not going to delete that thing. I'm just going to put a big...
No, just delete it. Delete
No,
it.
no,
I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it anymore.
Yeah, I'll do that later. I want to keep track of it though in case we need for future reference. So I'm just putting a big old black. There you go. Right. It's gone.
Are you feeling good about yourself?
No, I'm not, because I had a fucking massive argument about a fucking Normandy again.
But you got the answer you wanted.
I know, but I should have had a fucking fight for it. Alright, anyway. Alright, what's up next? Oh, God.
I need more boobs.
Yeah.
It's the fucking White Star next.
Right, okay.
These early episodes were a little bit more contentious.
Well, do you want to do the Icarus 2, actually? That's next.
Yeah, let's do
That's
Icarus 2.
slightly less
We can argue... Right, Icarus 2...
a bit low on size.
It's science. We gave it a 3, largely
No
because
way.
it had a very big
The bomb
stellar
was-
bomb.
Yeah, the
But
bomb.
I don't think we can... Look, Icarus, it's got to get 5 for science, I think.
Yeah, well, the ship itself.
Yes.
Because the bomb is not part of the ship.
No. So we're giving that a 5.
Cool.
So,
Okay, you know what? So what does that do to our scoring?
well, that's 53. I don't think there's any changes up in the top 10. Let's have a quick look.
No.
Nope, no changes there other than the Executor moving up. So, right, next up is the White Star, and it's a firepower question. We gave it a firepower score of 9 originally.
Now, that was a thing that would later influence the Shadow Crab. So if we change this, it will affect the Shadow Crab.
We will potentially have to go and revisit the Shadow, so I'll make a little note there as well now while we do that.
So, what was the deal with 9s then, Pete?
9 was City Leveller.
Well, that's fine.
I'm happy with that, yeah.
Why were we marking it as 9 then? Was it because of the Star Destroyer again?
I think it might have been the Star Destroyer.
Because it's more powerful than a Star Destroyer. It can cut through a Star Destroyer quite easily, I would imagine.
Well, you're getting into that whole argument of, I mean, again...
Different universes.
Different universes, also the ability to destroy something that's more of a... Weren't we
going to establish things like, one-shot capital kill? That there was going to be a capital ship that we were talking about?
I think the capital ship we need to be talking about is something like... Well, the weird thing is, though, you see, I think the ability to destroy a Star Destroyer is harder than destroying a city. So city levelling has to kind of come down then and Star Destroyer.
No, because I mean, at Star Destroyer, it's got big reactors and stuff that can go bang. Cities.
Yeah, especially in the X-wing. If you catch the reactor in the bottom, that'd be the end of it.
Well, I'm happy with a 9 on the White Star, to be honest. I'm not seeing anything there.
So let's move on from the White Star because I don't think there's a lot.
Right, the Cygnus
the White Star's still got. What's the interior? Oh, the Icarus. Okay.
No, we didn't do that. And again, the thing with the interior on the White Star is it's not that it changed. The change isn't the problem.
It changes from shot to shot.
It's the repeated changes. And again, it's because once Netta Digital took over the CGI, there was no consistency with it.
Plus, it wasn't that great to begin with.
Don't you fucking pipe up. I'm at my lowest ebb. I've taken a point off and I've lost the fucking ship.
You can do the fucking SR2.
No, I'm not going to. Because there's no way, because I'm just going to get absolutely ram-raided by the fucking lot,
Oh, please. I fucking love that shit.
Yeah, I know. Anyway.
Alright. The Cygnus. Now, for some reason, we've plugged it sublight as a contentious score.
Because we never saw it, because the thing was, in that one...
It never moves, does it?
Yeah, we never see it move, so we had no reference, so it should have gone down to 1.
Yeah. Are we happy with that?
Yep.
USS Signal should go to 1.
From the black hole, so that's down to a 1. Okay, here we go.
The X-bomber.
The X-bomber.
What's the problem with this?
Well,
apart from the fact that it's got a 9.
It's got a 9 for firepower.
Which is fine.
Why?
Because it can wipe the entire screen of ships off in a second.
So what? It gets a little squirt bottle and a squeegee?
There's a big flash and they're all gone.
It's a big flash and everyone just disappears.
It's literally like a smart bomb.
You can argue on the science score, but it does have the ability to do that.
What did we give it on the science score?
1, yes.
All right, fine.
Which is possibly generous.
So maybe that one was probably another one of those
The thing is, I mean...
You just want to kick the X-bomber, that's what...
No, I do want to kick the X-bomber, but even so, it feels disingenuous. It feels wrong.
It's there on the screen. You can't argue with it.
I'm arguing with it right now.
Well, you can't successfully argue with it. Okay.
Yeah. The problem with the X-bomber is the fact that it can destroy every ship in space with a single blast.
It's unrealistic, but it does it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I think we may have marked that out of spite.
You reckon?
Well, the next ship up with a note next to it is the God Phoenix from Gatchaman. And
that's because of the city leveling bullet, city leveling missiles.
Yeah, which were mentioned in the wiki.
Which were mentioned in the wiki, but in theory, you never see them. I think that was the reason. I think the problem there was that we never saw them.
All right.
So the question is, do we accept them as being there? Because they're in the wiki, they're in the manga, they're in everything else.
If they're in the manga, you're okay. If it's the wiki, I mean, we know that wikis are only as good as the person that writes the motherfucking thing.
Yeah, especially the Transformers one.
Yeah.
Jeff from accounts.
If they are actually in the manga, I'm happy for them to stay. If they are only referenced on the wiki,
I think it's just the fact that I think we had city leveling at 9.
Alright. Well, we'll leave it there then.
Okay, we'll leave that for a moment. Okay, Endurance.
The Endurance from Interstellar. Now, we've given it a note on the crew size. We gave it a crew of 2, which is 1 to... what's crew size of 2?
Crew size 2 is 6 to 25.
It's pretty much what
Why
it is,
don't we
isn't
mark that as... Was it crew competence by any chance?
It might well have meant to be incompetence, yeah.
Because we had them down as 4, but then they actually do the job.
They do the job.
And I think the problem was we gave them 4, we should have given them 5.
No.
Or we should have given them 3.
No, 4... no, I think
I'm trying to second guess myself from the
argument, I think, was it would be 5, except for the fact the entire... I mean, it won despite them. I mean, the whole reason they went on to the last planet was because of love and stuff like that. And I don't, the science and shit like that. It's like, I mean... If anything is going down to a 3, it's not going up to a 5.
Yeah.
Definitely not.
No.
Actually, no, yeah, I mean, again, and you've also got the whole things with Dr. Man and then just like, not believing their readings and just trusting him, and then they've got the radios on the outside of their helmets. Why? And
yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Are we thinking of 3 maybe?
And Fred the astronaut upstairs watching a planet for 27 years.
That's a fucking 3.
Yeah, it's a 3. Okay,
three.
fine.
Right, the interior now. We gave
This is an easy one because we didn't. None of us brought this.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry, Nick.
Yeah, Nick's sitting there going, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
I didn't get invited to this party.
Right.
Bastards.
Our interior score for the endurance, we had 3.
I think that was low.
That was low because it's actually the set itself isn't a problem. I mean,
The set
especially
is superb.
Yeah. Up
So
to 4.
I could go up to 5.
4 or 5 is fine with me.
I'd say 4 based on
We don't
the
see that much,
yeah,
I
that's my
guess.
point. Is we don't see we see the shuttle bit quite nicely.
And we do see the interior cockpit, and we do see the sleeping bays,
Yeah.
and we do see the airlock, which Matt Damon blows up.
Oh well, fuck it. Let's give it a 5.
Yeah,
I'm
I
happy
think
with
Yeah,
5.
let's do it.
Still only makes it 29.
Oh, right. No,
31.
31.
31. Oh,
There you
right.
go. All right, next up we have another one of Pete's Thunderbirds 2086.
The interior was 2. That needed to be our fucking 1.
Yeah,
Why?
because you see 2 cockpits.
2 cockpits,
And that's it.
and they're not even consistent between shots.
Yeah.
All right.
1.
Hang
Right.
on.
Yeah. Boo.
Boo all you want, it's still going to 1. Right.
Okay, so Thunderbirds 2086 goes down to 31.
Next up, the Derridex Warbird. I'm sensing a theme here with
Now,
these ships.
this one actually might gain
Well,
because I
yeah.
think the firepower
Yeah.
It
was
was pegged on the Enterprise.
Yeah, it was pegged on the Enterprise. We always worked out that the
Yeah,
Enterprise was marked too low.
Yes.
So,
So
don't
it's-
we want to do the Enterprise first?
Yeah, probably a good idea.
All right, well, let's go down to the Enterprise,
Enterprise D.
So there we go, the Flying Hilton. Now, the Flying Hilton currently has a firepower score of 7.
But it could quite easily, I think, take out something like a Star Destroyer.
I think it's on a level with a Star Destroyer, to be honest.
so.
Yeah.
We're talking 9.
I think a 9. What do you
Yeah,
reckon?
yeah, I'm fine with that, but that's going to have a knock-on effect with the Defiant.
Well, we'll deal with that in a second. So
Yeah,
we'll
the
put a 9.
Defiant's a kind of special case.
Well, we got a 9 there. Now we've also got crew competence for the Flying
I
Hotel.
will not accept a 3. I think it should be much higher.
I'm happy to go to a 4, but I'm,
I'm
not
happy to
going
go
to a
for
5.
4 if you're insistent.
I'm sorry. I'm not insistent. I mean, I'm fucking absolute.
I'm still slightly scarred from season 7 of Next Generation.
I was going to
That's
say,
the problem.
you're doing an episode of Justice next week, mate. You might want to hold your...
Okay, 4 it is then.
Right, we'll go up to 4, man.
Right.
Right, let's go back up to the
Hold on,
Derridex.
so that must change the scores a little bit because that puts the Enterprise on 63.
63, so the Enterprise is back in the top 10.
Yay!
Up to 10. I have no idea what it knocked out, but who cares?
Yeah.
Right. Let's
So-
go to
So the Derridex,
the Derridex.
Should get the same as the D.
it should do, except for crew competence, which should be much lower.
That's different, but we'll get.
Right, well, the
cross that
Derridex.
bridge.
So you're saying was a 9 for the firepower.
Yep.
Competence is currently at
Only
2.
at 2 anyway.
Oh,
so
right,
that's
fine,
fair
that's
enough.
fine.
And science, now we gave it a 2 on the science.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
of the black hole in the fucking
It's got the black
engine.
hole generating thing,
Yeah.
plus cloaking devices.
Yeah.
And
I think that 2 is fair.
we're happy with 2, yeah?
Why do we mark out the 2 then? What was wrong with it?
What's wrong with it?
No, I mean, why do we mark it out
as
as
a
something
problem.
to change?
I suspect it might have just been one we were talking about with Star Trek.
Oh, right, okay,
things like
fine.
that. Right,
Okay.
next up we have 2 Trek ships, which I'm going to do at the same time because it's both referencing the same detail. We have the USS Reliance and the USS Excelsior.
Yeah.
Crew competence. These are both marked down.
Right,
we have
okay.
the Reliant with a crew competence of 4 and the Excelsior with a crew competence of 5. Now, I believe these were both pegged by you, Mr. Medcar.
Yes, they
Your
were
case
both-
for the prosecution, sir.
Well, the case is that we basically the reason that 4 came up for Reliant
Yeah.
was that it's not the original crew. It should be Tyrrell.
Yeah.
And I was quite willing to do that, but then I marked out the Excelsior because the first time we see the Excelsior, we have Captain what's his face. with
Captain
his-
Stars. No, you see, I think we're getting into this thing. I don't think it has to.
But Sulu was still a captain of
Well,
the Excelsior.
that was an effect. You can't just peg it on the first crew you see on a ship because
It's who is normally there.
but that was my point.
No,
you know,
I'm
for the majority
happy. I'm happy for that to be Khan because Khan is in command of that vessel for the majority of the film, and it is Khan of who you are basing. I'm fine with that. The whole Tyrrell thing.
But
No,
hang,
but that was-
hang on, no, because the reason this came up was because you wouldn't let me have Flash Gordon. on
Flash Gordon.
yeah, that's right.
Flash Gordon has the Ajax for all of 5 minutes, and he just crashes the fucking ship.
Yeah,
he is
he
not.
flies it in a straight line.
He seizes the ship temporarily.
and use it as a
Yeah,
spear.
Khan seizes that ship, and he maintains control of that ship throughout it. It is.
Even though he can't keep his shields up.
Besides, if you start doing that with Flash, I am marking the Enterprise D with the Ferengi who took it over in fucking Gambit or whatever it was.
Yeah.
So, I'm happy to let the Reliant have its 4 for Khan.
Okay,
If
well,
you want that.
if you let that have 4 for Khan, then in theory you can have 5 for the Excelsior without a
Well,
problem.
for Sulu, because I mean, the thing is, it doesn't have to necessarily be the crew which launched with the ship. It just has to be a crew in command of a ship. With Star Trek, every other week someone's taken over the ship,
Yeah.
but we're not picking out because if nothing else, who do you choose which crew it is? Right. Next
Wow,
up,
Spirit of Goodwill is here.
right, the Goa'uld.
Your sarcasm is truly noted, sir.
The Goa'uld Hatak is grossly overpowered with a
Yeah,
10.
the firepower should be down to 7.
I think I'm happy with a 7-ish, maybe even a 6 to be honest, 6 or 7. But
No, he had a lot of firepower, but it wasn't strong enough in a single blast.
Right. So we go to a 7 with that. Next up, we've got one for Pete, Serenity. We've got 2 scores
fuck
here.
that noise.
You want to knock down the crew competence, I
I
believe.
do.
Well, that's an interesting one because I've literally just done a rewatch of Firefly because it's been a while since I've seen it, and I did remember them being a bunch of incompetent twats.
Yes.
They're not. That's actually not the reality.
Fucking told you.
They're not perfect.
They are not Enterprise D quality, though.
No, they're not. They're better.
No, they are not better.
They're
No.
not better than Enterprise D. Not by a long shot.
Right, here we go. We've got Mal and Zoe are on the losing side in some form of civil war, but they're still both pretty kick-ass. So
Yeah.
and they're let down by the rest of their side, so you can't count that.
Yes.
Uh,
They may have
what-
been on the losing side.
Yeah.
So they ain't convinced it was the wrong one.
Wash was playing with dinosaurs in the pilot, which didn't endear him to me particularly, but he turns
I
out
like
to be
that.
a kick-ass pilot. So
Cursed your sudden but inevitable betrayal.
Yeah,
Which could
exactly.
easily become a podcast fucking motto for this thing.
Exactly, yeah.
in the pilot, the crew take on board a mole, and Mal manages to accuse the wrong person of ratting them out to the feds.
Yeah.
Having captured said mole, they then let him get free to wreak havoc on the ship.
You're not helping me here, Pete.
No.
Don't worry, it comes through in the end. Mal ends up in a duel for punching someone.
Yeah.
He accidentally gets married. That's not a good sign of
And
competence.
not only that, but the person he marries nicks his ship.
Yeah.
Wait, is this the one when he goes to that special hell?
Yes,
yeah.
it gets warm that he'll go to the special hell, yeah. And Jane sails them out in Ariel as well. But, so those are all points against.
Right.
But I remembered the thing that was stuck in my mind and why I wanted to mark it lower originally was that episode where Mal ends up naked and stranded on a planet.
That's the person he marries, the redhead.
Yeah, she comes back for another episode. Yeah.
Yeah.
But when you watch the episode, you
You gotta
realise...
give him props for that.
Let's just take a moment.
But when you watch the episode, you realise that was his plan all along. Which, whilst is slightly stupid,
That may be
It
his
worked.
plan. No, that's a Doctor Who write yourself out of a fucking corner Pandorica bollocks. That is. We start off with a good stinger. Oh, he's on a planet. He's
Yeah.
had the planet ship nicked from him. He's had the ship nicked from
and
him.
he actually utters the word something along the line, well, that worked out well, didn't it? Which you think at the time is sarcastic, but no, he's actually truthful.
It's delivered in a sarcastic way.
It ends up that yes, it was
So
indeed
who's
part
he
of his
delivering
plan.
it to?
To himself.
No, to the audience.
Well, all right, to the
So
audience.
he's actually telling the audience, I didn't actually plan for this shit.
Well, he didn't plan to end up naked,
No.
but he did plan for companions' names gone.
Inara.
Inara to capture his wife. That's the whole thing. She then foils the wife's plan.
So what
So
do you want
actually-
to give it, Lee?
I want to give them 3.
You want to give
Hang
him
on,
3?
I haven't finished yet.
Oh, okay.
There's a very daring rescue of Mal in War Stories, where they take on a whole space station of baddies. We have Book, who I remember being quite harsh on, but actually it turns out he's got A, engineering skills, because he helps Kaylee out. B, he takes out the mole, so he's actually one of the better members of the crew. And he's not scared to use a gun if necessary either. He's kind of the badass minister I can get on board with.
And everything about Serenity, the whole actually getting the signal and warning everyone about what happened on Amanda, I think that counts well in their favour. I'm happy to go to a 4.
I was going to say, they're not perfect, so 5 is too much. But actually, having watched the series just now, it's a 4.
4?
4.
4.
And I would like to look at the fucking science.
Oh, well, we've given it a science score of 4.
No.
Why?
Because basically, the fucking thing is essentially a bunch of plates welded together, and it's barely kept alive, and on top of that, it still can outrun a whole heap of Ravager ships in that fleet.
Oh, please, those Ravager ships are literally falling apart.
As is the fucking Serenity. And yet somehow it flies like the fucking Millennium Falcon when plot demands it. And yet, on top of that, the thing can fall out of the sky quite happily in the opening of the fucking titles of the film. It's a ship. What's it powered by? What the fuck is it powered
It's a big
by?
rotating
Yeah,
thingy.
it's the thing at the back.
Right.
Yes, the
Which
rotating
is
at the
just
back.
as good as the warp core blinking away.
Yeah.
But it's powered by dilithium crystals, a molecular theoretical type of compound based on lithium, which can be held in a state. The point is, that is a comedy ship that is literally made up to do whatever it needs to do for the plot. The science matters not one jot. It's like
I do not agree at all. I think the science is quite consistent in Serenity, and it's quite well done. They maintain. No, there's no FTL within Serenity and everything like that. They keep it all sublight thing, so that's a point in its favour right there. They obey the whole no sound in space thing going on throughout there. That's consistent. Again, they have
inertia.
They have inertia. Look, my point is, I think when it comes to science, I'm happy with a 4. I don't have and you've just watched it recently.
Yeah, I'm happy with a 4, I'm afraid to say. Not to add to Lee's mood.
fuck you guys. Fuck you guys.
Right, moving on.
Okay.
The Nostromo.
Crew confidence of 5.
Yeah,
That's a 3.
that might be a bit generous.
That's a 3.
You think a 3? Yeah.
That's possibly Ripley just pushing them up.
Yeah.
We'll go with a 3.
Yeah.
Right.
No, doesn't it? Oh no, it's already. We had that. Sorry, don't worry about it.
Right. The Cylon base
I never
star.
want to mine.
Right. So we have a firepower of 9 at the minute, which I think is a little generous.
high, yeah.
A little.
What would you put
City
it at?
level. I'd be taught down to an 8.
I'm more in the 7-ish sort of region with
Probably
the.
we don't have any.
5.
Yeah, I'm thinking 7 to be honest.
Because the thing is, the Cylon base star in the Glen A. Larson Battlestar Galactica,
Which is what we're talking about here.
what we're talking about here, we don't actually see it do anything.
Oh, it rotates kind of ominously.
Yeah, and as da 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 da.
Don't get me wrong, the doorbell is fantastic. I love it. Me and Lee thinking a 7, I reckon.
I've got nothing left to compare it with now because the 7's gone.
The problem we have right now is, and I think this is something that reason why some.
What
of
else
these
have we given a 7? That would help me.
Right. What else has got a 7?
Nothing.
It's its own special kind of thing, huh?
I think the problem is, I think we're in that position. I think the reason it
No, it's
got
gone.
marked,
There is literally. Oh, there you go. The SR1, the Normandy, we gave a 7 just now.
yeah, which he has no point of reference.
Yeah, I was going to say, but
But-
surely it's got better firepower than that. for all.
No, it doesn't, mate.
No.
In fact, if anything, that means it should be getting a 6.
Fuck that noise.
The thing is, the thing we have right now, I think the reason why the base star got marked was because we started adopting around that point the whole, if we don't know, we give it a 1. And the thing was, the base star never is seen firing.
It is seen
it
firing.
is, it is. It
It's never
fire-
seen particularly hitting
It
anything.
fires on the Pegasus in the Living Legend episode. So it does fire.
They fire loads of stuff.
Yeah,
it's like
it
a
is.
whole curtain of
It just doesn't
firepower.
necessarily hit anything.
It's just not particularly accurate, and I think that's more on the crew competence.
I was going to say that might affect crew competence.
Yeah, yeah.
somewhat.
Now that I'd be fair enough with.
Well, I'm thinking. I feel like a 7 is where the base star should be at. That feels right for me.
Well, I tell you what then. We got. Either way, we're taking 2 points off this.
Yeah.
So you either take 2 points off in the firepower, or you take a point off in firepower and bring it to 8, and then just say everyone can't fucking hit a barn door because their eyes are bouncing backwards and forwards.
So yeah. So
Well, let me
we
put it-
bring
let me-
firepower down to 8 and competence down to 2. That seems fair to me. I buy that.
I mean, that's It's not shocking. It's not horrible.
Right, and competence.
And the crew competence down to 2.
Because they can't hit shit. Yeah, fair enough.
Right.
There you go.
Guilty as charged.
Right. Okay.
Next up, we've got the Liberator.
Oh dear.
Has a competence of 5 at the minute.
That's probably a bit generous. Sorry, Mr. Probert.
Yeah.
No. Come on.
We're not sorry, but yeah.
No, Pete's our man on this one. Yeah. The point, man. Go for it.
They ain't perfect. They end up in quite a few scrapes. I think they're similar to Serenity, actually.
Yeah.
And Joss Whedon would agree with you. So what I think actually that was Mr. Probert's argument was if Serenity was getting a 5, then Liberator was getting a 5.
That was his argument, yes.
So if we've pegged Serenity down to 4, then that brings Liberator down to 4.
Fine. Well, there you go. That's at 4.
Brilliant.
Next up is Ron Moore's Galactica. We've got another crew competence one.
No way is it a 5.
Why?
No way. Because the thing is...
God, I haven't got to rewatch that as well, have I?
Because the thing is, while Adama and the bridge crew are mainly very good...
And Tyrell,
yeah. The problem relies on the rest of the crew, including, like, Chief, who not only turns out to be a Cylon, but actually is dating a Cylon, and then ends up having a baby, and he becomes compromised. I think the problem you have here is you have the key elements of the staff are compromised. I still think that's why I was bringing it down to a 4, because at the end of the day, you literally have a fair portion of your crew are effectively the enemy, and they don't even know it themselves.
But spoiler alert, it doesn't. By the end, they all come together, still manage to make it work. Tyrell still manages to stop the mutineers from jumping away with a ship, going in there and stopping out. So I still think they're
a bit wobbly, but they overcome the wobbles. And I think we've kind of established that.
And again, you've got to bear in mind as well.
I think the problem was that one of the things that was brought up in the episode was that crew competence also relied on ancillary staff, and we got to that point where it's like, if the Marines were shit, but the crew was really competent, they kind of averaged out at a 3. And the problem was we had Gaius Baltar, who would deliberately fuck his own results to sit there with his imaginary Cylon girlfriend.
I would counter with Gaius Baltar, and I'm not arguing about him doing that, but he was never part of the crew. In Season 1, when he is working for Adama, he is working under the auspices of the President, and then by the time you get into Season 2 and 3, what have you, he's the President, but he's still not part of the crew of Galactica. He is a passenger on board the ship.
But the point that comes up is the fact that where do you start calling someone a member of the crew, and then in which case do you have to start reviewing the film, reviewing the thing from that point if you're citing precedent?
All I'm saying is...
All I'm saying is they're not absolutely perfect. The whole point of Galactica that made Galactica as good as it was that they were all flawed human beings.
But again, I don't think competence is a...
Starfleet captains. Sorry, Starfleet captains.
Even Matt's fucking shaky eye. My point is, I don't think competence and perfect... I think these characters have flaws, which is what made them good and interesting characters. But when it comes to the competences in executing their job and operating the ship and getting their people safely to Earth, they are fully competent. They have my full sort of like, I think they are as good as you get. I think the crew of Galactica, the crew of...
Part of the problem is they get screwed over by the fact that they've got Cylons amongst them and they don't know who is and isn't a Cylon.
And then they employ a guy who is a Cylon sympathiser.
Yeah, but I don't think that.
Yeah, and I really don't think you can... I think with the hand they are dealt, they do the best they possibly can.
You spend the entire series going, this is not going to end well, this is not going to end out well, and spoilers, it actually ends kind of well.
But the point is, in the same way as you only do with what the hand you're dealt, half these fucking ships get that. It's like, the Nostromo gets Ripley. She's great, but everyone else is a fucking idiot. So, what do? Do you take the highest score, or
no? I see what you're saying, but I don't buy the argument that just because Colonel Ty, the Chief, and so far, Cylon, Boomer is the exception there, but something. But I mean, again, she shoots the Dharma sort of thing.
People haven't seen Battlestar,
when Athena
comes, kill us.
Seriously, if you've not seen Battlestar, what the fuck, people? Piss off and go and watch it.
It's been fucking nearly 10 years.
It has.
It's literally been 10 years. But my point is, yes, Boomer shoots the old man under the Auspex of that, but Athena, the other 8 model there sort of thing, is perfectly fine. There's no problems in there with that Cylon. I don't think being a Cylon stops you being a competent member of the crew.
No, I don't.
And I don't think that the crew not realising that members are Cylon affects their competence, because the whole point of the show is they don't know who the Cylon... I mean, it's the whole thing is coming together at the end and saying, human and Cylon, we're all together, let's all get along and go and live in fucking...
And that is fine.
Yeah.
That is fine, but I'm saying that's at the end of a journey. And if you're going to take everything at the end of a journey, then in which case we have to go through all the crew competence, because by the end of it, all of them are fucking apes. Well, except for the Red Dwarf. But, the point is... the point is... Oh, and the Liberator, because they're all dead.
Yeah.
Alert.
And Nemesis.
Yeah, exactly. Why do birds... Oh, shut up. Anyway.
Look...
Yeah. But the point is...
I could be persuaded either way on this one.
The point is, I don't want to... I think the whole thing with Galactica wasn't so much that I was dissing the Galactica, I was more aligning it to what we'd done before.
But I think, aligning it to what we've done before, I still think Galactica and her crew under William Adama is, if not certainly one of the most competent crews we have brought to Space Dock Jury. I mean, please, and I'm not saying this to be awkward.
Well,
give me 3, without looking at our scores, I just want 3 more competent crews in your opinion.
Oh, that's a very good question. We haven't got the scores for the Millennium Falcon yet.
No, carefully didn't do that one.
But my point is...
I mean, just looking at the screen, we've got Enterprise Refit at 5, but they're the heroes. So
but even so, I mean, they are heroes, but they are, to a certain extent, Mary Sue's in the way they're written.
Yeah,
I mean, that's fine. One of the nice things on Galactica is they're not written
Mary
in that
Sue.
way. It's the point is...
Does that mark them down to a 4 then?
Plus the fact that, let's be honest, they come up with... The only plan they can come up with to get people off of a planet where all of their troops are on the planet is to basically drop their own ship onto the fucking planet and sacrifice it.
That was a moment of motherfucking genius given the situation they were in.
But
also, one of the greatest cinematic moments in fucking science fiction history.
You have no argument from me.
Yeah.
Absolutely no argument from me. Best
my point,
45 minutes of TV
I
I've
get
ever
where
seen.
you're going with that, but my point is, if you give any crew that... So we say Jean-Luc Picard and the crew of the Enterprise D, and we're assuming they're as good as anything, right? We say to them, right, now here's
in which
the
case,
situation.
let's go put them back up at 5.
My point is, point is, we say to them, right, here's the situation you're dealt with. All that remains of mankind, apart from some 10,000 people on this fleet here, are trapped on a planet. It is completely inaccessible. You cannot sneak up on this planet at all. It is surrounded by like 5 super heavy capital ships. Any one of their own could potentially destroy your ship. You need to get fighters on the ground. You need to do all these things just to give your people a chance to get out of there. And they still manage to make it do. The only question I have about the competence with Bill Adama and stuff like that is, and it comes down to he made his son commander of a Pegasus. But even so, given what else he had to deal with, given Colonel Ty, you can argue it's not suitable for that level of command. And furthermore, didn't want it. He didn't have any other option there. I think the crew of the Galactica are one of the most competent crews in all of science fiction and also in all of military fiction.
So are you telling me right now that basically if we were to reset the scores, those are the ones we have to... Not Starfleet Legendary, because that's the thing.
Arguably, yes, because let's look at Starfleet Legendary taking out Kirk.
No, you can't pick and choose.
Right, fine then. Star Trek Legendary. What's a legendary Starfleet crew? Picard and the Next Generation one, sort of thing.
No.
We've had a long fucking...
No, we know that isn't
There's
the
7
case.
seasons of a broadcast to go through why they don't get a 5.
Yeah.
Janeway and Voyager?
No, who are you kidding?
Fuck off
Didn't
that
they get
shit.
minus 50 last time we looked?
Yeah, exactly. We'll get to that shortly. Benjamin Sisko even... I think Sisko and his crew are the most competent crew in all of Starfleet.
They don't put a foot wrong as far as I'm concerned.
Really?
Yeah. Sisko is, for my mind, the high water
They make
mark.
some interesting decisions, but ultimately they don't put a foot wrong.
I've got to say, I think...
Do I have to start watching this?
Yes!
Oh, hell yeah.
Yes!
Trek, man. I can't believe you... How much of Voyager did
If you like,
I watched it all.
You watched
Why?
all of Voyager and not all of it.
No,
If I
about
may-
You're
that-
dead to me. You're dead to me.
if I may quote from The Last Crusade, he chose poorly.
Poorly.
And I watched
So
all of
poorly.
Enterprise.
Very
Oh,
poorly. So you basically missed the good one and went to the...
I was in my Babylon 5 phase. It was too soon.
My point is...
Can
Yeah,
we
I-
just move on? I don't care if it's 4 or 5. Let's just move on.
I've just destroyed Pete.
Right, we're leaving that as a 5 and moving on.
We're getting to the photocopying the arse
Yeah.
part of the Christmas
When I
party.
rewatch all of Battlestar Galactica, I'll let you know whether it's a 4
Right.
or 5.
Or maybe we should do that.
Maybe we should.
I'm up for that. Yeah, let's... Right. To be continued. Anyway, right. Next up is the Event Horizon.
Right?
Interior
Nobody likes this
realisation. No one likes it, but we gave the interior a 2, and as
That's
much
unfair.
as we all love giving the ship a kicking, but it is
The
unfair.
spiky thing.
Yes, but they're well done spiky
They
things.
make
Why,
no
why,
sense.
why do they have the spiky
I
thing?
think he got a 2 because I stood on the fucking engine room in L Street.
You did. But I got to say, things like the bridge set, the medical base set, anything in the forward command section of the ship.
I cannot argue this because I literally have seen that those spikes break off and they're polystyrene. I have nothing. I cannot argue this thing.
I think it should have a 3 for interior realisation. I think the sets themselves.
Pete, you're my arbiter. I cannot be objective about
What are you
something.
talking about? You're
I
the
believe-
one who fucking marked this one down for review.
Yeah, I did. But the thing is, I can't actually talk about it because the thing is, I fucking saw it was made of balsa wood. I can't. Balsa wood and polystyrene.
I think you got a 2 because of the stupid design of the thing.
It's
That
a
long
stupid
corridor.
Yeah, but I mean, you've got to bear in mind,
madness.
we gave it that, but we gave the sodding NESA protector 4 for its interior.
Yeah, but the thing
it's
was,
lovely.
but on top of the thing with the NACA protector, the thing with the NACA protector is that in the film, you see they have blueprints.
Yes.
And not only that, you see that multiple people have blueprints, and that they are able to guide the crew around their own ship. And not only that, we see pretty much the entire film is set on the ship in multiple places.
Right.
So you've got mess hall, you've got bunks, you've got the Omega 13, you've got the interior, you've
The
got the
point
engine.
I was making about the protector and the comparison is, Pete's big problem with the Event Horizon is the stupid meat grinder. Is that not the biggest point of it?
Yeah.
Oh, and then
Right.
you've got the chompers.
Then
You've got the
chomp,
chompers on the protector.
which is why I think we knocked it down a point.
Yeah, but my point is, as far as quality of set construction,
Oh, go on.
as
For
far as,
market 3, go on,
yeah,
carry on.
We'll give it as a 3. Right.
Losing the will to live.
There's a man down to his third pint.
Third. Yeah.
Third.
Yeah.
I wish.
5th or 6th. Right. Next up.
Minus 50 for the Voyager.
Right, we gave
Minus-
Voyager.
Slightly unfair.
It was.
No.
Just a weenie. Don't you
No,
weenie
it's not.
Look, it's. I think we should mark it 0.
We should mark it 0 at best. Yes.
Yes.
Do you know what you're about to do?
I know what I'm about to do, but I've got to say, I think it's. Look, I'm with you. They're incompetent. I don't think they're minus 50 levels of incompetent.
You've got an entire crew, of which half of them die in the first episode. The other half are replaced by a bunch of criminals that should be in a fucking jail because they're useless.
Which is why we mark it as 0.
0.
Yes,
0, I
0.
think, is our baseline.
Nil.
so they're worse than...
Minus 50 was good for comic effect, but actually doesn't work with my
Okay,
little table.
let's be serious for 1 second then. If
What do you mean? You haven't been serious this whole time?
I have been no, I'm far beyond serious. If you're going to do that,
Yeah.
are they actually physically worse than the Red Dwarf crew?
Yes.
Really?
Because they've received
because-
Starfleet
yes.
training, and they still managed to fuck up big time. Whereas the Red
Jay
Dwarf
Blitz-
crew
yeah.
have all the training to change chicken soup repair machines.
However, in 10 seasons of Red Dwarf, they are still not even a tenth of the way home. However, in 7 seasons of Voyager, they actually make it to Earth.
Yes, and the swathe of
last
destruction they
episode,
left behind
in
them.
The point still stands.
Sorry,
No, they
what,
made-
are you trying to argue a positive number? here?
Fuck it, if you're going to destroy my score, I'm going to fucking take it all the way.
You're mad.
Voyager.
Just reap the
Quite
whirlwind.
quite mad.
Right, Red Dwarf. Dave Lister is a technician, third technician for the fucking effectively the vending machines, right?
Yep.
You know, the only reason he still exists is happenstance, and he happened to be
Because
frozen.
of Crichton.
No, it wasn't Crichton. It was
No, but I'm saying Crichton basically gets them out of every
yes.
problem.
But my point is, fine.
That
With
doesn't help
Voyager,
the first 2 seasons, of course.
Voyager, I think is a 0 because I think you have
They have all the
Tuvok
training in the
is
world.
Tuvok is not the most incompetent officer in all of the Starfleet.
That's true.
You've got the EMH, I think, is a reasonable enough doctor, what have you.
He's the finest medical mind in the whole of Starfleet.
But
Yeah,
my
he's probably
point
got the
is,
bedside manner of a
Yeah,
Not the
was-
point.
it was
People get
based
on his
on-
bed, they survive.
yes. Now those two,
No one does that with Bones.
those two, reasonable enough, right? To counteract, you have Ensign Harry Kim, who, in my mind, is the only reason he's not promoted isn't because there's not enough fucking thing. It's because he's fucking useless. He's a wet fucking blanket. You've got Tom Paris, who
He's a criminal.
No, never mind that he's a criminal. He's a fucking chav. All he wants to do is race fast. He wants to, he's just immature, incompetent boy racer, effectively. But the single worst person in all of Voyager is Captain Catherine Janeway, who not only strands her entire crew in the Delta Quadrant on her own fucking modelling, she then mounts a moral crusade, forcing her own personal interpretation of the Prime Directive of Starfleet values on an entire different sector of space which she has no absolute right to, leaving a swathe of destruction far worse than anything the Borg ever did in the Delta Quadrant, which effects will be reverberating through from now until the 29th motherfucking century. We know this to be a fact because there is an episode of Voyager where you see the outcome of what Janeway did, and they are still reaping that fucking whirlwind, as you say,
Let
300 years later.
Let me add an appendix to this.
Yeah.
Who's the actor who plays Chakotay?
Robert Beltran.
Beltran, yeah. I still can't get out of my head. Robert Beltran did a interview piece in SFX, and they had a photo shoot, and he chose to have his photo shoot with his trousers down his ankles on an escalator.
Not entirely sure what has to do anything, but an interesting little side note.
But every time I look at Chakotay, I can't look at
You
anybody.
can't see anything but his arse.
His
So
undies.
does he get marked down for homosexual arousal of a
No, he
pontiff?
gets marked down for his undies.
My point is,
Mark it 0.
I think 0.
I reckon 1. If you're going to do it, 1.
Why 1?
And
Justify your one.
hang on. Kneel it. 0.
Mark it 0.
Yes.
Thank you. Right.
Right, okay, so what does that change the 48 for the Voyager? From minus
Minus 2.
minus
win.
2
I
to
win.
48. You son of a bitch.
Well, hang on. Where does that put it in the grand scheme of things? It's
At
above
38.
HMS Fearless and below the
It
Dreadnought.
puts it at 38. It put it from the bottom to 38th position.
What have I done?
You know.
My God, Bones. What have we done?
Right. Next up, we have the JJ Prize crew.
Okay.
Now, competence. Pete was quite insistent they had a 1.
Yeah.
You and I were much higher, but then we decided to peg it with what we gave the Next Gen crew. Now, we've just upped the Next Gen crew to a 4.
So they get a 4.
Boo! Boo! Was that before I saw Beyond, though?
No, that was after Beyond.
Oh, right.
No, it's before Beyond.
That was
I
after
thought it
Beyond.
was... I thought it was
We did it post Beyond.
Okay, well, fine. It doesn't matter. Would you give it higher now? With Beyond.
with Beyond in the equation. Oh, yeah, I'll go. Give
There you go.
There you go. Right. I think this might... Well, no, there's two more.
This one.
Two
Here
more.
we go. Regional
Well, this
selection.
one's dangerous because this is one I'm re-brought. I don't want to. I'm just not getting involved in this. Okay.
Merry Christmas, everyone. Right.
Well, the crew competence, it had a score of 2. I don't know if that was too high or too low. I don't know why it's too high.
Too fucking high.
Too high.
You had a captain who pulled his own chair out of the fucking ground.
So
Yeah.
1.
One? He hasn't got anywhere to fucking sit.
No, wait. I'm pretty sure he sat on Garrick at one point.
That's a big fat fucking 0. And not only that, he was just like, he's like Donald Trump on Twitter at 3 a.m. It's 0. It's a fucking 0.
I can't argue with that logic.
I'm not getting involved.
And science, we gave it a score of 4.
Big fat fuck off. No, it's a 3.
3? Yeah, I'm
No,
happy
trick
with that.
chips you regularly get a 4.
But this is
But
too
this
big.
thing is like...
I didn't say that.
Yeah, no. So there you go.
It's a good thing we're not recording this for everyone to listen to.
Yeah.
Listen to
Yeah.
it.
Or
I
people's
hope you're
spouses.
not listening to this as you carve the turkey.
Or as Anne-Marie has a sharp implement in her
Yeah.
hand.
Right,
So, there you
Oh
go.
God, please tell me that's it.
well, technically that is. There is the Nimbus, but I don't have a picture with me here. But
Oh.
I went through every episode of Futurama with the Nimbus on,
Yeah.
and I found a picture of the mess hall with the crew in uniform.
And-
I counted those motherfuckers. There's 210 in there, and I will send you this picture later on.
Okay.
Furthermore,
Later on, we might.
we will revisit the Nimbus, but yeah, the Nimbus at a later date will be going up on the crew size.
So, do we need to run down the top 10 as it stands now?
Yeah.
The top 10 as it currently stands. In a 10, coming back. Wait. Gotta stop now. There's something we forgot to go back and revisit. The Defiant, because that's pegged to the Enterprise.
Oh, yes!
Back to the Defiant.
Okay.
4 points.
Handbrake turn.
Rewind.
It's like that kid in Mac and Me going off the cliff.
Yeah.
Don't remind me, you bastard.
Right. So the
Stupid
Defiant. Now,
This next one had better be better.
No.
the Defiant currently has a firepower score of 8.
And the
We've
Enterprise
just given the Enterprise D
A 9.
a 9.
So it needs to have a 10.
No, I don't think it needs a 10. I think it needs a 9.
Oh, it's not as good as the D. It was designed as a battleship in the way the D was.
Yes, but it's designed to be a smaller, kind of more compact. It's more bang for your buck.
It
But
has quantum torpedoes, the Enterprise D doesn't.
the Galaxy class does carry quantum torpedoes.
No,
No,
not
no, in the series it
after.
doesn't.
No, not
But
in
the
series.
Galaxy class itself.
I don't
can.
care. We were
can,
doing
but it
Enterprise D.
doesn't.
Enterprise D doesn't.
I don't really want to define to do anything, but I've got to maintain. The reason I'm saying this is because I'm looking at a big black line. Motherfuckers!
Look, someone bought a ship which didn't need a crew. And what's really going to piss him off is he realises his big trump card isn't eligible because, near as I can tell, they don't need a crew either.
Shut up! No, the culture don't need a crew.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Anyway, it's his fault for making me fucking
Back
read
to
the
the
books
top
as
10.
well.
Back to the top 10.
Hang about. So
Pull up.
I don't know if I'm going to like where this has gone now, because
Oh.
no, it's all right. It's still on me.
Yeah,
Okay,
all is
right.
well.
Oh wait, no, there's one more. Oh, I can't argue it because I haven't still read it. I'm
Go on.
still not happy with that Dalek mothership there. So
No,
that's,
hold on. No, can we go back to the competence of the crew with that?
Dalek mothership.
Because Oliver, what's his face?
Yeah, he did rather muddy the waters there, didn't he?
Yeah, but not in your favour.
Queered the bitch.
No.
He queered the bitch. Hey, this is one of mine. I don't care.
Dalek mothership.
Dalek mothership, not that
there you
fucking
go.
thing that looked like polystyrene
Right.
crap.
Dalek mothership currently has a competence of 3.
Yeah,
That's fine. That's what he settled on.
Was it?
Brilliant.
All right.
Yeah.
I don't agree with his answer because I got to say there was a certain amount of bias in his scores. But you know what?
It is worth mentioning that the last few that he saw, apparently, in inverted commas, he didn't actually see. Yeah.
I think 2 point. If we could offer anything 2.5, it would be this. But anyway, let's not worry about that. Top 10. Top 10.
This sounds like a future problem for us.
Yes.
But anyway, right. So the top 10 as it currently stands. So back in the top 10, at 10 is the Enterprise D with 63 points. At 9 is the Dalek Mothership with 63 points. At 8 is the UNSC Spirit of Fire with 64. At 7 is the Battlestar Pegasus with 64. At 6 is the Imperial Star Destroyer with 65. At 5 is the Ronald D. Moore Galactica with 65. At 4 is the Borg Cube with 67. At 3 is the SSD Executor with 68. Moving back up. At 2 is the Vengeful Spirit with 69. And still there at number 1 is the motherfucking, it's not a spaceship, it's a space station, the Death Star with 73 points.
Bam, 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 bang.
Happy New Year, folks. Fuck off.
Excuse me. Can I just say one last thing?
You can.
The Death Star wouldn't be in there if you fuckers hadn't colluded and brought Babylon 4.
Can I just further point out, again, not wanting the muddy waters anymore because it's going to probably mess me up as well, but we're pegging the Borg Cube at the same power as the Enterprise D now.
Oh, nice.
Oh, no! It's much higher! Much higher!
It should be at least 1 higher.
It should
shouldn't
be
No, I
at
think
least-
it's...
no.
No, because the Defiant's at 10 and it's
No,
fucking
it's-
higher
it's
than...
entirely-
It should be 1 higher than Defiant, yeah.
Oh, mark it.
I'm thinking maybe a 12. Right, so the Borg Cube, currently sitting with a firepower score of 9.
This is going to last all night.
Oh,
It's
going up to 11.
I'm thinking
11's stupid. Yes, that's right for Borg Cube.
Yeah,
11's stupid.
Right, well then,
69!
it's tying with a Vengeful Spirit.
Is it?
Yes.
69.
Awesome. I like.
So there you go. So,
Can we go to crew competence on the Borg as well?
Get it out. I need the loo.
you're right, actually. That's too high.
No, it's not high enough.
Fuck off.
What's the crew competence?
3.
They're automaton. What do you expect? 3's the best you're going to get.
Yeah, because we had a massive one. You wanted to give him 5, I wanted to give him 1.
We
And
gave
he
the next. What did we give the next generation crew?
4.
4, and they always beat the Borg. So therefore, the Borg needs to be 3.
You can't argue about logic.
Fuck it. Okay, right. Okay, fine. So as someone, a man of the cloth, does a wanker symbol at me, I think it's time to say Merry Christmas,
Merry Christmas,
everyone.
you
Yeah, Merry
bastards.
Christmas, Merry!
Yay, we've sorted it all out.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We were going to look at Christmas spaceships, but we can't be arsed, so...
No,
absolutely no. It's
There's
late.
not enough booze in the world.
No.
Hope you all have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And until next year when we decide to do something else,
Yeah.
Yes. Until next year.
I should go.
Damn it, you bastard! Yes! One job, Medcop! One job!
I should go to the loo.
Oh, the weather outside is frightful, but the fire is so delightful. And since we've no place to go, make it so, make it so, make it so. Man, it doesn't show signs of stopping. And I brought me some tea Earl Grey hot. The lights are turned way down low. Make it so, make it so, make it so. When we finally kiss goodnight. How I hate going out in the storm. But if you...
Really?
Shut up, Wesley! All the way home, I'll be warm.
Oh, the fire is slowly dying. And my dear,
We're still goodbye, then. But
as long as you love me,
so,
make it so.
make it so. Make it so.
Spaced Up Jury is a production of 3 Angry Beards for GeekPlanetOnline.com.